commonly perceived that those who live a pious, set-apart life are weak and frail, even fragile. But the commodities of holiness or set-apartness require a much firmer mindset and constitution. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day number 3 of the Torah portion, Kedoshim. One more time, let's look at the beginning of Leviticus or Vayikra, chapter 19, and verse number 2, that says at the end, "Be set apart, for I, Yahweh, your Elohim, am set apart." Set apartness is the state of not living commonly, not living a common life. Now, our forefathers here in America established that each of us has the right to life, to liberty, and to the pursuit of happiness. The desire is that each one of us be able to meaningfully engage in an expectant life where if we sow into the ground, we receive a harvest. If we invest in a business, that we receive a return. If we endeavor to work hard, to save, to act wisely, that we can expect to live a quiet and peaceable life, raising our families and building our homes and having something left over for the next generation. That's the general idea. All of us know that idea or ideal, the American dream, has failed them. Many of us, we've struggled and we found ourselves in places that we would not like to be, conditions and circumstances that are not of our own choosing. Such is the life of the common man. Then there are the guys and sometimes the ladies on TV and internet that would say to us, if you would just follow these religious principles that I'm going to give to you, if you have enough belief, and especially if you contribute enough to my ministry, then you will have supernatural blessings. I've even heard it said that messengers or angels stand at the ready to be dispatched by He who sits on the throne to bring a divine favor and blessing to you just the moment you take your credit card and go to the phone. I've heard that. I've watched that take place, and I grimaced and groaned and grieved at the potential number of people that immediately picked up their debit or credit card and ran to the telephone. How foolish we are, thinking that without investment, without righteous walk, without dependence upon the Most High, that we can just skip all of the middle part and go straight to the end part and receive the outpouring of Yah's favor, blessing, and be marked as holy and special and unique to Him. Yah asks us to set aside the common to walk in the set apart, not easily done. To be set apart, again, is to not desire to live a common life. This doesn't mean that we don't engage in common activities. Being set apart and being holy doesn't mean you don't have to go to work. It doesn't mean that you don't have to pay your bills. It doesn't mean that you don't have to sleep and eat and exercise and live and engage in the community that is around you. But we do it with a different attitude. I think it would be easy for us to understand and realize that Yeshua did not live a common life, although He did normal, ordinary, everyday things just as we are. He nonetheless lived a life that was set apart to the desire and the will of the Father. In the greatest hour of His temptation, not in the wilderness being tempted of the devil, but in a garden of prayer just prior to His death, Yeshua offered up a plea that said, if there's another way to get this done, can we do it? Nevertheless, not my will, Father, but yours be done. That's set apartness. It was in the authority and the power, the anointing of his set-apartness, that Yeshua healed the sick and raised the dead and multiplied food and even walked on water. We don't see these things taking place, but is it because we live commonly, more so than what we might imagine? In the book of Luke, chapter number 6, beginning with verse number 30, Yeshua says this, "And give to everyone who asks of you, and from him who takes away what is yours, do not ask it back. And as you wish men to do to you, you do to them in the same way. And if you love those loving you, what favor have you? For sinners too love those loving them. And if you do good to those doing good to you, what favor have you? For even sinners do the same. And if you lend to those from whom you expect to receive back, what favor have you? For even sinners lend to sinners to receive as much back. Rather," and here's a set-apart, non-common lifestyle, "love your enemies." I mean, right out of the box, love your enemies. "Do good and lend, expecting none in return, and your reward shall be great, and you shall be the sons of the Most High, because he is kind to the thankless and wicked ones." Argument settled. "Therefore be compassionate, as your Father also is compassionate. And do not judge, and you shall not be judged at all. Condemn not, and you shall not be condemned at all. Forgive, and you shall be forgiven. Give, and it shall be given to you. A good measure, pressed down and shaken together, and running over, shall be put into your lap. For with the same measure with which you measure, it shall be measured back to you." Giving, not just money. When someone says give, immediately we think about, how much is this going to cost me? Giving of your time, giving of your attention, giving of your ear. There are times that we speak to people, and what they're telling us we already know, or we are busy formulating our response so intently that we're not really paying attention to all that they're saying. It is a trained ear that will listen to everything said, pause and think about it after it's said, and then give a response. Not easily done. We are so eager to share what it is that we think we know. I've more than once stepped in it, stuck my foot in my mouth, where I was so busy trying to offer what I thought was wisdom or some piece of advice, and I didn't take time to rightly listen. There have been situations where I ruined things, ruined opportunities to have a meaningful relationship with people because I was too quick to respond. And I responded out of order. Giving your ear to someone, listening, is an act of not living commonly. If we go over to the book of Colossians, chapter number 3, beginning again with verse 1, "If then you were raised with Messiah, seek the matters which are above, where Messiah is, seated at the right hand of Elohim. Mind the matters above, not those on earth." Now, the rest of the chapter is a great read, and I encourage you to read it. Mind that which is above. Focus on that which is above, where Messiah is at, where he sits in authority with the Father in the heavens. And don't be so concerned about the things on the earth. The daily news, social media, reports abound of all of the wrong, the bad, the ugly, the discouraging, the deflating, the defeating in the earth. It's a lot of negativity. And if we allow it, it will pull us down into the common muck and mire of mass humanity. As a set-apart people, we are otherwise focused, looking above and concentrating on the throne of Elohim, not on this dark kingdom on the earth. We'll talk more tomorrow. Till then, shalom.